Let's see if I can do this time.
Oh, that.
There's some stuff. Didi, if you don't watch Didi, you need to. He's amazing. He does some awesome documentary work, but he breaks a lot of shit down, and I love his perspective. I love to hear his perspective.
One, the Secretary of Defense.
There's some shit here that on his latest episode he just released. It's concerning, and very let's just say translucent as to who these people really fucking are.
A lot of problems with the left, and they get protected, and they shouldn't be protected, as you understand.
Response. We already know how we feel about Pete Kasich, especially in the next clip that I'm going to show you all. But listen to what Trump had to say about Tyler Robinson.
I'm wondering if you think if Charlie Kirk's assassin worked alone or if he worked with it.
I don't know. I mean, I can tell you he didn't work alone on the internet because it seems that he became radicalized on the internet. That's just by watching the same things that you're watching and hearing. It looks like he became radicalized over the internet. And it seems like he has wonderful parents, brought in a wonderful neighborhood, smart guys, great boards, great marks, great student. And then something happened to him over a fairly short period of time. It looks like he was radicalized over the internet, and it's radicalized on the left. He's a left.
Yeah.
Problems with the left.
Don't forget that part. He's radicalized on the left. He's a left. He had great parents, though. His parents, they voted for Trump. So, Trump loves his parents. But Tyler Robinson, was radicalized on the left. And it appears that he was not radicalized all by himself. And that's pretty explosive for Trump to be saying that.
And they get protected.
Seeing as how the only person that's been arrested is Tyler Robinson. The only one that's been charged with Charlie Kirk's assassination is Tyler Robinson.
And they shouldn't be protected, as you understand, I think very well from...
Oh, and now he's saying that a lot of people on the left that are protected that should not be protected. Well, I would argue that there's a lot of people on the right that are protected that shouldn't be protected also, like the predator class, like Trump and his buddies and half his administration. They don't deserve the protection that they are getting, but yet they get it.
So first and foremost, Pete Kasich just seemed...
I'm so fucking sick of the lawlessness in this fucking country. It's unbelievable. It disgusts me, honestly.
Comfortable. And we already know these are people at the highest levels of government. We already know that they are advanced, quote unquote advanced, with their subtleties and how they demonstrate nervous behavior. They know not to show some of the typical signs of nervous behavior from human beings because, especially if there are cameras in the room, right? They're public figures and they know people are always watching. So there are other cues that we have to pay attention to. And when you start behaving like this, once Donald Trump, who many people believe, not just Trump himself, not to pick on Trump, but any president, when they believe that they have handlers around them, when you start to react like this, when they start talking about this whole Charlie Kirk situation, it just looks suspicious. But more specifically, Trump said it appeared to him that Tyler Robinson became radicalized over a short period of time. And again, I can't stress this enough. Part of the reason I'm so invested in this case is because it's almost as if we're in two different worlds, right? And I'm one of those people, like I said, I've shared this before on this show. My uncle's girlfriend, wife, whatever, used to call me when I was in high school, used to call me Mr. Who, What, When, Where, and Why. And she was saying it. She would laugh when she'll say it, but I know she was really meaning it in a way to jab me, because I would always ask questions, and I would ask follow-up questions, because if I don't understand, I'm going to continue to ask questions. And I didn't quite understand, and I still don't understand, and I don't care to understand that it's considered rude to continue to pry, right? Or to ask 3-4 questions in a row. That's considered taboo or considered impolite. I don't care about that. If the goal of you telling me something is for me to understand it, and I don't quite understand it, I'm going to continue to ask questions to get closer to the truth. And that's the way in which I would encourage everybody to be, right? So we're going to play this back because it seems that what their perception of Tyler Robinson is and what many of our perception of Tyler Robinson is two different worlds, right? So let's run it back.
I'm wondering if you think if Charlie Kirk's assassin worked alone or if he worked with it.
I don't know. I mean, I can tell you he didn't work alone on the internet.
So he said, I don't believe that he worked alone on the internet. What did he just say? That's a problem.
Okay, the next thing I want to show you, what I want to point out here is when they're talking about the Iran war, what he says about Pete Hegseth.
Wait.
Pete Hegseth said it's too bad that this war is almost
My thought on what I think about that.
over and settled.
Well, they were quite disappointed. I don't want to say this, but I have to. I said, Pete and General Raisin Kane, I think this thing's going to be settled very soon.
It's hard to hear.
Oh, that's too bad. Pete didn't want it to be settled. It's these guys are doing a great job. That's a good attitude, though, Tom, right?
Wait. Pete Hegseth is the Secretary of Defense. He works under the Department of Defense. Of defense, not of offense, which means you assert. Of defense, which means you only do when necessary to protect yourself. The president said he don't want to admit this, but he has to. The Secretary of Defense seemed disappointed. Somebody said that they couldn't hear it. Here, I'm going to play it back.
You know, the only two people that were quite disappointed, I don't want to say this, but
he said the only two people that were quite disappointed, I don't want to say this,
I have to.
But I have to.
I said Pete and General Raisin Kane,
I said Pete and General Raisin Kane.
I think this thing's going to be settled very soon.
I think this thing is going to be settled really soon, that being the Iran war. I believe that the Iran war will be settled really soon.
Here they go. Oh, that's too bad.
And then they go, as a response to Donald Trump, Trump says that then they go,
too bad.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Do what?
That's sick. That's fucked up, man. That's so fucked.
Pete didn't want it to be settled.
He says Pete did not want
And I'm sure Pete would love to sock you right in the mouth right now, dude, because you literally have no, he just doesn't think when he speaks. Like the President of the United States just said that about the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of War. He's so fucking clueless. He's clueless. And I don't want to say this, but I have to. He literally has to expose them all for who they are. It's fucking great. Keep up the good work, Donald Trump.
wanted to be settled. Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, did not want the war to be settled according to the President of the United States. He just admitted this on camera.
It's these guys are doing a great job.
These guys are doing a great job.
What a good save.
A good attitude though, Tom, right?
I'm legitimately curious what you all think.
Unbelievable.
Could explain the reason why, number one, the Secretary of Defense could openly demonstrate this sort of reaction where the president, to the point where the president noticed it, recognized it. But number two, why would the president, I say the president, we know Trump typically is loose by the mouth.
Way too loose.
Is it possible that Secretary of
appreciate
Defense
it.
Pete Hegseth could know something about the implications, the consequences, aftermath, or after effects of ending this war specifically at this time? Is it possible that he could know something that we don't? Is there something about what would have to occur in order for the war to take place that Pete Hegseth, and this is just giving him the benefit of the doubt. That's crazy. Speaking of the Iran war, though, he is that's a very interesting term I haven't heard before. He's a messianic accelerationist. Interesting. It's a brag. We're whipping their butt. I don't know what that means. We shouldn't be in the war to begin with. The war is not for America. This is supposed to be the president of peace. We're once again involved in other conflicts in the world when this country continues to go to hell in a handbasket. I don't understand these type of silly statements. So I want you all to take a listen to what Erica Kirk You know, she's on these, they say she's on these campus tours, but I would say that they're kind of obscure in the sense of it's not the way Charlie did them, right? They seem to be in these super controlled environments in these rooms. I don't know if this is some sort of an adjustment because of what happened to Charlie. I don't know. But I found this to be very interesting that someone asked her about why it is that Turning Point USA has refused to speak publicly on the Iran war, give their position, and what Charlie would think about it. And her answer, nobody here should be surprised by her answer, but you are definitely going to be entertained that this just continues to happen over and over. Listen to what she said.
Answer your question, my husband isn't here to say whether or not we should be at war with Iran. Yeah, no, to answer your question, my husband isn't here to say whether or not we should be at war with Iran. I would love for him to be here right now and tell us if we should or should not. I would love it. I miss his voice more than anyone in this world. And, you know, it's frustrating when you have people speaking for him. I have a sentiment for that. But thank the good Lord that we have a bunch of his videos that we can look back on. And it's like chapters like this, I have to commend you. This is amazing. All of you guys sitting here together having debate, discourse, dialogue, that's what Turning Point USA is about. And that's what I wanted to continue. So when you ask what's our stance on the war, what's our stance on that, I actually would prefer that we have these types of discussions where our stance is on freedom of speech. And I want you guys to all continue to just...
Did anybody notice what I noticed? Dude, there were so many things wrong with this clip. So I appreciate the fact, you know, if we're going to always point out
there are so many things wrong with every fucking clip of these fucking ignorant motherfuckers, man. They just literally blatantly show us who they are, like right before our fucking eyes. If you have eyes to see and ears to hear, then you should be able to see and hear who these people are exposing themselves to be.
Things about Erica, we have to be fair and point out the things that are commendable. Erica did just say that she misses Charlie's voice. She wishes that he was still here. Sure, these are all the things you should expect a wife, a widow to say. But there's quite a few things wrong with this clip. Let's start it back from the beginning and break it down.
My husband isn't here to say whether or not we should be at war with Iran.
She says, my husband is not here to say if we should be, to say whether or not we should be at war with Iran.
I would love for him to be here right now and tell us if we should or should not. I would love it. I miss his voice more than anyone in this world. And, you know, it's frustrating when you have people speaking for him. I have a sentiment for that.
She says that she misses his voice. She wishes that he was still here to say if we should or should not be at war with Iran. The beautiful thing is that we have many clips. She's going to get there in a moment. But she says she really hates that people are speaking on Charlie's behalf. And then she goes on to say, I quote, I think I have a sentiment for that, end quote.
But thank the good Lord that we have a bunch of his videos that we can look back on. And it's like chapters.
She said, but thank the good Lord that we have many of his clips to look back on. This is so weird. It's confusing to me. Lady, the clips that you're referring to are your husband. Yes, there are multiple clips and tweets of Charlie Kirk speaking about how Iran is ran by the Islamic, like he said critical things about Iran before. He's also agreed with Donald Trump, and he agrees with the rest of us that they should not have a nuclear weapon capable of reaching and targeting America. Here's the problem. There are way more clips on the internet of your husband specifically saying that we should not be involved in Iran. We should not be involved in the Iran war. He specifically said in one of his clips, let me find it. He said that it is one of the most catastrophic decisions that America could ever make, and that is to go to war with Iran. Let's see, Charlie Kirk on Iran war. There are so many clips of him saying similar things, such as this. Here it is. This is a great example. This is one of the clips. Let's listen to what Charlie. She says, "Thank God that we have these clips." I agree with her. Let's go and listen to what Charlie Kirk said her husband
I agree with her as well.
about the Iran war.
Let's do some updates about Israel and Iran and potentially the United States. On one side is the Lindsey Graham, John Bolton types, where they are actively calling for regime change.
Look at the date of this, by the way. June 17th, 2025.
Here is Lindsey Graham. This is just,
If I remember correctly, that's just a few days after his whole, like, intervention.
lunacy. This kind of analysis is not helpful. This kind of approach, this kind of argument, it has nothing to do with nuclear weapons at this point. This is now that we want to go all in and take out the regime. It's time for us to close the chapter on the Iranian Ayatollah and his henchmen and start a new chapter in the Middle East.
That is one of the most damaging clips online. For Erica Kirk to reference the fact that her husband has clips online when she refused to speak out against, she's the CEO now. She's refusing to speak out against this war that the president almost seems proud to be a part of. Even though it's going to have a drastic, it's alleged, right? It is purported that it will have a massive impact on the economy, which it takes a while for the ripple effects to be felt by the American people. But they say that this is supposed to be felt.
No, Dee, I'm already feeling it. Oil for 100 gallons is already $200 more than it was last month. I'm already feeling it, Dee.
Within the next year, if not just a few months. Why are you not speaking out about this, Erica Kirk? This is what your husband is saying, man. And this is
Because she's rich. She has nothing to fucking worry about.
important because this is bigger than Erica Kirk, who's guilty and what really happened to Charlie. Why what happened to Charlie is also important. And we all have heard part of what the speculation is, and that is he was heavily against the Iran war. Well, this is what this man is saying, and he said it's no longer about a nuclear weapon. We all know that. We all know that. As a matter of fact, I just remembered a tweet, but we're going to run this back. Listen to what he says here.
Argument. It has nothing to do with nuclear weapons at this point. This is now that we want to go all in and take out the regime. It's time for us to close the chapter on the Iranian Ayatollah and his henchmen and start a new chapter in the Middle East. And that sounds good, doesn't it? But what have we learned when it comes to wars, and especially wars in the Middle East? What you draw up on a whiteboard rarely happens.
Wow.
What you think theoretically is going to occur, there might be unintended and unforeseen consequences, especially when you're talking about a country 2.5 times the size of Texas.
Wow.
It has 90 million people and was an ancient and great power with well over a dozen ethnic groups. You have underground Christians. You don't really have many Jews left in Persia, but also you have secular.
I wonder if Charlie was still here, where his stance would be on supporting President Trump right now. If he would still support him, if he would have filed for divorce yet, what he would be doing. I have a hard time believing he would still support this predator in chief. I do. I have a hard time believing he would still support after these files, after what's come out in these files. I don't know how anyone can still support this man, whether the evidence has been corroborated or not. The allegations alone are damning. They are so beyond damaging. I don't know how anybody can still defend this fucking predator. I don't. It blows my mind. I could never do it. Nope, could never do it. I care about children and animals and the well-being of my fellow Americans way too much to still support this motherfucker. So I wonder every day where Charlie would be with this.
Secular younger Persians. Who's going to run the country exactly, Lindsey Graham? This sounds like Hillary Rodham Clinton in Libya. So I'm pointing to the first extreme right now, the neoconservative extreme. The we must go take off the head of the snake right now. Play cut 285.
Be all in, President Trump, in helping Israel eliminate the nuclear threat. If we need to provide bombs to Israel, provide bombs. If we need to fly planes with Israel, do joint operations. But here's the bigger question. Wouldn't the world be better off if the Ayatollah...
Anything for Israel. Anything for Israel. I wonder how much money they've given this man. I really do. It's got to be hundreds of millions, dude, for him to be such a fucking cuck for Israel.
...away and replaced by something better? Wouldn't Iran be better off? It's time to close
either that or the compromat they have on him.
The chapter on the Iranian Ayatollah and his henchmen. Let's close that chapter soon and start a new chapter in the Mideast, one of tolerance, hope, and peace.
Okay, that sounds good, but that's pathologically insane. I'm sorry, it is. How do you know it's going to be better? Yeah, the Ayatollah is awful, but maybe he's one of the few guys that can keep that country together and not have a 90 million person civil war. Lindsey Graham is so consistently out of his mind, it's hard to even comprehend. Iran is hugely diverse. It is a massive country. Do the people agitating for war even know that? Because be clear, regime change is war. Just to understand, regime change is not like changing the head coach at the Chicago Bears.
All right.
It's not how it works. It's not like a clean transfer. Typically in the Mideast, it's very messy.
Now I want to forward ahead a little bit, and we're going to listen to these two little beta males, man. These are the fucking little bitches beta boys I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Topics, and I respected him for that. If we don't see the causation, don't always mean correlation or connect to correlation. I get it. Or correlation doesn't always mean causation.
All right, right here.
That looks like Tyler. They begin asking him things like, where is your, I believe it was his grandfather's gun. Mm-hmm. They start asking him.
I would be thinking to myself, that made no sense. That is so funny.
You guys need to go watch DD.
So now I would love to respond to Blake Neff.
Go watch this episode. It was awesome.
I believe I may have said something to him on Twitter. I did. But I haven't officially responded on YouTube. And I want you all
Let's do it, DD. Call him out. Of Blake Neff. Call out these little bitch-ass beta boys.
On everybody. For all of us, and I included myself in that, for engaging in conspiracy theories about what happened to his friend and his boss, Charlie Kirk. Let's take a listen.
There is a murder weapon that was found near the site of the shooting. It was owned by Tyler Robinson's family.
Given to him by his grandpa.
Of the
good old granddaddy's gun.
It has his DNA all over it.
All over the casings.
They release a photo of the shooter. They are not able to find him otherwise. Tyler Robinson's parents see that photo and think, that looks like Tyler. They begin asking him things like, where is your, I believe it was his grandfather's gun. Mm-hmm. They start asking him this. Tyler Robinson starts talking like he might kill himself. They get a friend of the family to sit down with him. He admits that it's him.
Ugh, I can't stand watching these fucking guys.
First and foremost, half the things that he just said are not confirmed. I'm going to say it again. Half the things that Blake Neff just said are not even confirmed. Blake, don't you care about the truth? Why
not
would you
at all.
Blabber things that you don't know to be true.
Not
in this country,
at all.
everybody's innocent until
they know the truth. They already know.
Just up here blabbering.
Erica knows everything,
and it hasn't even been confirmed. Newsflash: Tyler Robinson did not turn himself in, bro. And even if he had turned himself in, or even if it had been reported by credible sources that he had turned himself in,
the recording's gone.
Problem is, or one of the additional problems is, the footage. The freaking footage of him turning himself in no longer exists. Well, isn't that convenient?
Yeah.
Right?
Very.
Another newsflash. He did not confess to his parents. That's been debunked so many times. Why are you saying that? Another problem is that the weapon that you're talking about they found, do you even care about the details of this case? Do you even care about why there's a group of us that have religiously made video after video about the details of this case? Because this is it's obviously a blatant lie, and people like you that are the closest to Charlie that's using his show. Why don't you start your own show, dude? Why are you using Charlie Kirk's name and Charlie Kirk isn't present? That's weird. Start the Blake Neff show. Start the Andrew Kovach show. Why do you have a freaking, that makes no sense.
Oh, I love it.
How are you his friend?
Exactly. You fucking sit up there with the Charlie Kirk show banner still on your fucking show. Are you kidding me? You guys should be so fucking disgraced. Like, you guys are a disgrace to the male genetic makeup, the male genetic structure. Like, you guys, I mean, really, like, they are fucking an embarrassment.
Bro. Either you all are on the whole psyop and Charlie Kirk is truly alive, or you all are just trying to actively cover up what truly happened to this dude. Maybe you're in fear for your life, or what? I don't know what it is, but it's clear to us, dude, what you're doing here. You just
this next sentence that comes out of Blake and Andrew's mouth at the same time, because they constantly have to be simping on each other and like, they just gotta like constantly be glaring at each other and backing each other up and literally repeating each other word for word. It's fucking sick.
Dispute a bunch of nonsense.
Get him to drive up to Orem and turn himself in. His parents helped him turn him in, and we run into people who say that didn't happen or that's fabricated.
There's digital confessions.
There's digital confessions, but also his parents are out there. They have never stepped forward and said this is a lie. They could easily do that. It would be trivial to do that if it was the case.
Be trivial to do that,
This is the part I've heard nobody address.
Come on, Didi, bring it.
Just said. Can anybody tell me? I'm gonna turn the chat on. Can anybody just tell me what the biggest issue is with what Blake Neff just said? I'm gonna repeat it to you.
I can. The biggest issue is that it would be so easy for all of you little bitch boys and Erica Monster Kirk to come out and literally tell us all that what is right and what is wrong, what is the truth and what is false, what is real and what is fake. But are you guys doing that? Are any of you coming out and answering any of these questions that the public have for you? No, but it would be trivial if you did. That's just a guess of mine what Didi might possibly be thinking. I don't know.
He says Tyler Robinson's parents have not even come out and disputed any of these claims. That will be good if they were to do it. Let's instead of me, let's just run it back.
Love Didi.
Can anybody tell me what the biggest issue or what the ironic thing is about what he just said? Let's play the game.
Run into people who say that didn't happen or that's fabricated.
There's digital confessions.
There's digital confessions, but also his parents are out there. They have never stepped forward and said this is a lie. They could easily do that. It would be
do it, Didi. Do it.
Was the case.
Call them out. Call them out.
Let me tell y'all, I haven't seen anybody that said it yet. The ironic thing about what Blake Neff just said is that it is the very thing that applies to them. Andrew Kovac, Blake Neff, Mikey McCoy, especially Mikey McCoy, the fantastical extravaganza, mythical Mikey McCoy, and Erica Kirk. Literally everything you just said applies to them, right? It would be trivial. Let me take your word, Blake Neff. It would be trivial if you came out and you actually address the very things that are lies.
Boom.
The very things that have no answers to them that you all claim to have the answers to.
Boom.
Erica Kirk, why won't you confirm or not where you were the night before? Why won't you just confirm to the public where you were the morning of? Andrew Kovac, why won't you confirm what plane you flew on to get to Utah? Why won't you confirm who it is that you flew with?
It would be trivial if you guys did.
Exactly what it is that you saw in great detail because you've been finding some inconsistencies yourself. Mikey McCoy. Oh my God. Mikey McCoy, why won't you confirm why you walked away so fast?
The amazing back turning, Mikey McCoy.
Why you did not have a natural reaction that will be consistent of somebody that just witnessed something that was number one, a surprise, number two, traumatizing to watch. Mikey McCoy, why won't you do that? I'm going to use Blake Neff's words. It will be trivial to do so. So we're going to run that back and we're going to listen to what he just said and tell me if this does not literally apply to TPUSA.
There's digital confessions.
There's digital confessions, but also his parents are out there. They have never stepped forward and said this is a lie.
TPUSA is out there and they've never stepped forward to actually help the public try to figure out why there are so many inconsistencies and red flags. They choose to only speak when some of the minute, small, petty details are proven to be false or proven to be out of order. But the major details, some of the biggest questions, some of the biggest flags, that's the part that they choose to ignore. They won't help the public with that. You do understand how guilty this looks, right? You do understand that it's weird that the closest people to Charlie are the only ones that are not asking questions. Huh? How did that work? Andrew Kovic says there's additional details that are going to come out. Well, why won't you help us? Candace is the closest one to y'all, right? Instead of trying to refute the things that you say are lies, why won't you help people answer these questions that we have? Stop lying, bro.
They don't want
They
to.
can easily do that. It would be trivial to do that if it was the case.
You guys could easily do that.
TV USA could easily do that. Erica Kirk could easily do that. It will be trivial to help this case. Majority of the people that's doing this investigation were fans of Charlie, because the people that hated Charlie's guts and didn't like his politics aren't going to do this. They don't care. They're just glad he's gone, allegedly. So why would you not work with the people that cared about the dude and put a lot of these quote-unquote conspiracy theories to rest? Why is it that you only choose to sit behind a microphone and the camera in Charlie's office and use his name when he's not there to only refute and not actually push or advance the case? Why would you do that?
They have not done that.
TP USA has not done that. Erica Kirk has not done that. Blake Neff, you have not done that. Andrew Kovic has not done that. Not only has Mikey McCoy not done that, Mikey McCoy is afraid to get on camera these days. You people are just like a Matt Walsh or a Ben Shapiro these days. You'll do monologues.
Yes.
Why won't you sit in a room with somebody that disagrees with you?
Nope.
Is it because you're afraid that
Too
you'll
risky.
mess up and slip up and say the wrong thing?
Too
Like
risky.
Andrew Kovac did here?
Yeah, listen to
Processing
this.
their guilt in the way that
Their grief.
their grief, thank you, and their mourning in the way that they know how. And
Yeah.
it's gonna come out in 1,000 different ways. And
Yep, processing their guilt. That's what they're doing. They're processing their guilt. I mean grief.
they're processing their guilt in the way that
Their grief.
their grief, thank you, and their mourning in the way that they know how. And it's gonna come out in 1,000 different ways. And
Where I'm from, some people, maybe not where I'm from, where I went. That's funny. Where I'm from, they wouldn't even use this term, but where I went, which is to college, I believe they will call this a Freudian slip. I believe this will be called a Freudian slip.
That's because that's what it was.
People make mistakes, and they can be harmless mistakes. This was a different one.
they're processing their guilt in the way that
Their grief.
their grief, thank you, and their mourning
Yeah.
in the way that they know how. And it's gonna come
Love
out in 1,000
it.
different ways. And
Love
No,
it.
that's not even how. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. That's no.
Okay.
Parents turned him in. That is the most obvious piece of evidence in the world that nothing can argue around.
The most obvious
Parents are
piece
not
of
trying to do,
evidence.
bro. Where's the proof of that? It's like,
Ugh.
this is what makes it even more weird. Let's say his parents turned him in because they believe that his son may have had something to do with it. Do you know who Tyler Robinson was working with? Do you know if Tyler Robinson went through MK Ultra? Do you care about who may have placed him through MK Ultra so that he can do this? I don't even believe Tyler Robinson did it. Don't you care about the
Me
footage of
neither.
him getting onto the roof? You said that the FBI released images on television and the internet of what the person looked like. His parents, Tyler Robinson being Tyler Robinson parents, believed it to be him. The picture that Blake Neff is talking about, everybody, is the picture of the guy in the black shirt with the eagle on it. That does not look like Tyler Robinson. It's pretty clear to me that that's not Tyler Robinson. But furthermore, the person that picture, the person does not even have a gun in a backpack. That's what the story is. Blake Neff, why don't you talk about that inconsistency, bro?
And some people are so obsessed with these same conspiracies that they concoct for every other thing that
Look at
ever
him.
happens.
Look at
And
him.
so they have to shove it into this one too, because they care more about their conspiracy theories than about the person who murdered my friend facing justice.
I'm just going to say this. This is
Say
not the most
it,
Christian thing
Dee Dee.
to say. It's not the most nice
Say
thing to
it,
say.
'cause I'm
I
thinking
get
it.
I own it.
I've
deserve any
fucking
little
been
bit of
thinking
pushback.
it.
Fair. Blake Neff, I've noticed a pattern at TPUSA. Blake Neff, Andrew Kovac, I would even say Tyler Boyer, and definitely Mikey McCoy.
Oh, definitely Tyre Boyer.
They talk like women.
They're
I'm not
fucking
saying
little
homosexual,
bitches,
but
dude.
why do they talk like women?
They're fucking
talk like women.
feminized.
And they're doing the things that definitely women do. It's just a fact. It's a very common thing with women. When a group of women get together, or when couples get together, that being both the man and the woman in the relationship. But I rarely ever see two men do this together when they're talking, where they're constantly looking at each other for like assistance.
Yeah.
Or to see if the person want to add something to what they said, or to look for some sort of cue to not say something or to not keep going.
Yeah.
Why do they keep looking back and forth? Like, dude, you're a man. Stand up straight. Say it with your chest.
Fuck
Look
yes.
at the camera. Say it with your chest. You're like
those little pansies, Dee. These are not men.
That's weird.
They're not men.
Weird, dude.
For every other thing that ever happens,
you don't even seem emotionally driven like that. You're just loud. Blake Neff, we can see through you, bro.
Oh my God, so clear.
This one too, because they care more about their conspiracy theories
So
than about
clear.
the person who murdered my friend facing justice. I am fed up with it.
I am fed up with it. He is fed up. I am fed up with it. I am fed up with it. Fucking little bitch. I am fed up with it. They just want their conspiracies to be true instead of the person that killed my friend facing justice, and I am fed up with it. What the fuck?
He's fed up with it. And if things couldn't get any worse, here's Andrew Covett on the Joe Kent leak.
Oh, God.
Every lead, turning over every stone. We wanted everybody that needed to know.
I'm going to slow this. Hold on. I'm going to slow this down because I want you guys to really hear this. I really want you to hear the passion in these men's voices. Let's just put it all the way back to normal. Fuck it.
Not just, I mean, and by the way, we've been accused of not being interested in the truth. And just,
I agree. I'm one of those people that's accused you of that. I don't believe you're interested in the truth, or you
I don't
already
either.
know the truth, and you know that something else happened with Charlie that day. Andrew Covett, I'm gonna run that back. He sounds like a woman to me, bro.
They are little
What is up with
bitches.
that at TV USA? Charlie didn't sound like that, by the way, but the rest of them did. I don't know what that's about. Why do they all talk like women?
spirit of looking at every lead, turning over every stone. We wanted everybody that...
Because women typically drag out their words. Every lead, every stone. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know what. I don't know.
I don't know.
And I'm not here to just insult people.
They're dramatic, feminized beta boys.
I've noticed that pattern here. It just makes what they're doing that much more annoying.
Spirit of looking at every lead, turning over every stone. We wanted everybody that needed to know anything that we knew. Not just, I mean,
except the public, that is.
Not being interested in the truth.
And just to remind people what this is referring to, this
yeah, Blake, remind us.
After Charlie's murder, there were text messages that from a private group chat that were made public and were used to, frankly, kick off the big conspiracy theory that we've run into over and over again, which is that Israel or the Jews had Charlie murdered.
Yes. So, which we do not believe.
Which we do not believe.
So
which we do not believe.
We have to talk about this part. This is
the fact that they both felt the need to literally just say that and then repeat after the other boy, the beta boy, which we do not believe. Which we do not believe. Like, come on. Oh my fucking God.
They just did so much of exposing themselves in this clip.
Yes.
Yet to hear people break this down like this. Think about what they just said. Blake Neff starts off this clip with saying, there's a clip that got leaked. There's a screenshot that got leaked of text messages from a private group chat. But not just any private group chat and not just any text messages. These text messages that he's referring to were a screenshot taken by Andrew Covett, the person sitting next to him, so why did he not just say that? Of Charlie Kirk specifically saying, Jews are fitting, my Jewish donors are fitting every bit of the stereotypes. They're leaving me no choice but to lead the pro-Israel cause. Something to that effect, right? You just heard the words that I just said. These are Charlie's words. Blake Neff then proceeds to say this for some reason. That's right, because the text messages themselves gives you no reason to believe this. There's no correlation. Okay? For some reason led to the huge conspiracy.
The kickoff of the conspiracy.
That Israel, the very thing that Charlie referenced, leaving, the cause that he referenced leaving in the text message, unalive Charlie, or the Jews, which is what they like to say.
Which we do not believe.
The entire argument. They know that we're not, us that's on this side, we're not accusing all Jewish people. But that's their defense mechanism. But to make it even worse, Charlie literally said Jews in the text as well. So a text message of Charlie complaining about the two very things that you mentioned, you're confused why people would come to that conclusion.
Which they do not believe.
You're sitting next to the person.
Don't forget
who thought
that.
It was important enough to send it to somebody in government. Andrew Kovac. Why did you think it was important enough to send to somebody in government? Why?
But not tell the American people.
Why?
Because they do not believe
That's
what happened.
At every lead, turning over every stone. We wanted everybody that needed to know anything that we knew.
He contradicts himself.
By the way, we've been accused of not being interested in the truth.
And just to remind people what this is referring to, this is after Charlie's murder, there were text messages that from a private group chat that were made public and were used to, frankly, kick off the big conspiracy theory that we've run into over and over again, which is that Israel or the Jews had Charlie murdered.
Yes. So,
which we do not believe.
Which we do not believe, even though we thought it was important enough to send this group chat screenshot to somebody.
But didn't think it was important enough to mention it to anybody else, okay? Because he did not want to, how does he say it? Break that. That was a personal and private message between his friend Charlie and him, and how fucking dare you? Like, these fucking ignorant motherfuckers.
Somebody in government because it could be a lead. Huh? How does that work? Why did you send it to somebody in government? You're not answering that question, though, bro. This makes you all look so guilty.
Yep.
But we have been accused of trying to, or we're not interested in the truth.
Because you're not.
The fact of the matter is that behind the scenes, we have given everything we know to give. Every single piece of information. This was one of them. I was told I could trust Joe Kent. I provided the screen grabs to Joe Kent. And that I don't know what happened to them at that point. Okay, I just want to make that very clear. Eventually, Joe did message me and suggest that I make those screen grabs public.
So, Joe Kent received your screenshot, was apparently appalled by what he read, figured that it could be important as well, and encouraged you, who is Charlie's friend and co-worker or employee, to release the text message, to which you replied, "No, I'm not going to do that." Huh? No, I'm not going to release this information that I thought was important enough to secretly send to the government. I'm not going to let people know that this is what happened.
He must be afraid for his life. I don't understand why these little bitch boys would even act like this. Other than they're either guilty as fuck or they are terrified for their life. Which we do not believe. We do not believe that any foreign government had anything to do with Charlie's death. We do not believe that. We do not believe that.
In fact, not only that, but once other people like Candace Owens starts talking about the pressure that Charlie was under, I'm not even going to verify it. I'm just going to sit back in the darkness, sit back in silence, and just let it play out. Huh? Why would you do that? I think we can all speculate why. A couple of reasons why.
I declined because those were shared privately. I didn't want to be reckless with them in the public. There could be innocent people on that
What
group chat that
a
would then be
what a sad fucking excuse. Really. Those were public private messages between me and my friend Charlie, and it could be reckless for innocent people.
harmed.
It could get innocent people harmed. Like, yeah, are you talking about you? You were afraid it would get you harmed by sharing that with the public? You were afraid that some foreign government might come after you next, Andrew Colvett? Fuck, dude.
This is what I'm saying, like, speaking like a woman, and now he's thinking like a woman. No
Fucking
offense
cannot stand these
to the
bitch
women that rock
boys.
with me. He's thinking like a woman.
Put him in their place, Dee Dee.
I was just talking to my fiance. This is a great example of what I mean by, like, the difference between the way men and women typically...
No, I don't think like that. The difference with me, this woman over here, is if you are guilty, you're guilty. If you're innocent, then there will not be any harming of innocence in the process. If you're truly innocent, then I don't give a fuck. If you are involved in something and you're innocent, then you will be found innocent. But if you're guilty, then you're guilty. And that is clearly what these people are trying to hide, is their guilt.
typically think. Not that one is right or one is wrong. They're just different. Like, men are more likely to get in car accidents, but that don't necessarily mean that women are better drivers. It's just that men are better or are more risk takers, right? We just have different natures. I was just talking to my fiance, and she's on a trip right now, and she was going into an aquarium, and she chose not to take her book bag into the aquarium. And I said, why not? She said, oh, because they don't allow that. I said, they do allow that. You just made that up. And she's like, well, it's typically frowned on if you have a backpack on and you don't have a child with you. And I'm like, yeah, but that's different. Like, men, we tend to not care about that. Like, you want to be mindful that people don't think that you have, like, some sort of device to try to harm people in your bag? Sure. But my fiance, the way her mind works is it's frowned upon, it's not allowed, people are going to look at me funny. I care so much about that that even if it's more beneficial for me to bring my book back in so that I can get some work done while I'm inside of here with my family, I would prefer to just leave it out so people don't feel funny about me. Men typically aren't allowed that, aren't typically like that.
The way I view that is, I don't give a fuck. Look at me different all you fucking want. Look at me funny. Frown upon me all you fucking want. I will do it just so that you look at me differently. Honestly, I think so much more like a man than most women do. And it's just because I don't give a fuck. You can judge me all you want. You can view me through any eye, through any fucking light, in any way, shape, or form. It's not going to bother me at the end of the day. It's not going to keep me up at night. I'm definitely not going to stay up at night because I have such anxiety because I'm not accepted by the public for who I want them to accept me as. Fuck no. Just be your real, genuine, true, authentic self. If people don't like you for who you are, they can get fucked. It's their loss, not yours.
We're risk takers. This man just said, I'm not willing to share a text message that shows that my friend, who was just allegedly taken out in the most brutal way, I have text messages showing he was going through it. So much, in fact, that his biggest donors, he was splitting from them because the pressure they were putting him under. I'm not going to make that public because he shared it with me in private.
Shame on you, Andrew.
How my mind works. That's one of the stupid reasons I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, me too, Didi.
But he goes on to say, not only am I not going to share it because it's private, I'm also not going to share it because other people are on it, which, by the way, their identities would have been protected. Because remember, when Candace eventually shared this information...
Just like all the identities in the Epstein files are protected. You could have just redacted the names, Andrew. You're a fucking liar, and you know it. And I hope that eventually eats you up at night to the point where you can't sleep, you can't eat, you feel like you literally cannot breathe without one second of just honest decency. I really hope that eats you up inside at night, Andrew, and Blake. If you have a fucking soul inside of you, I hope that fucking destroys you.
She blocked the information from coming. She blocked everybody's names out. He says, I didn't want to share because people were on that text message thread that could have been harmed. Huh? How? What in that text message will cause somebody to get harmed? Like, speculate with me, Andrew. What? What could have been possible? He's just saying words. He's lying.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's just lying. What do you need enemies for when you have friends like this?
So I declined. But then, fast forward another week or two, and they were made public. So that's what I know, is that Joe suggested that they be made public. I declined, then they were made public. Can I 100% categorically say that he leaked them? No.
No, you can't because you shared them with 4 other fucking people, Andrew. So how could you? How dare you even stand up there and try and make fucking Joe Kent seem like the bad guy out of all of this? You are the fucking bad guy, Andrew. You are the fucking evil one.
Are the facts. Maybe somebody on his team.
Joe Kent for president, 2028. Let's get this going. Joe Kent for president. Especially since Vance Kirk for president, 2028 was... The domain name was bought like 2 days after, or something sick, like 2 days after the 10th of September. So, come on, this is fucking disturbing. All of this shit is so disturbing. We need some real, authentic, genuine human beings to get our government back for us and run it the way that we the people see fit. That is what they are put in place to do. That is what they're paid by the United States taxpayer dollars to do. But yet they do everything other than that. It's fucking sick. I am sick of it. Like Blake Neff, I am fed up. I have had enough. I am sick of it. But I really am sick of it.
Maybe somebody else leaked them. But those are the facts of the matter. And
him, I don't think so much.
Yeah, and the reason we're bringing this up, obviously, with his departure from
they literally seem like robots. Like, these two guys seem like they're just so robotic. The way they talk, the way they fucking, their words, it's fucking crazy. It's disturbing. I can't stand, I have not watched this fucking show, the Charlie Kirk show, because it doesn't exist anymore. It does not exist. It's not even a show anymore. It is these two guys trying to cover their fucking asses, trying to kiss Erica Kirk's fucking ass. She's probably sleeping with all of them, in my opinion. She's got them all hooked around her little finger, and she's manipulating all of them into believing they're the only ones, and they're the special ones, they're the important ones. We just need to get through this. We need to get Tyler Robinson convicted, and then we win. And that's my opinion, honestly. And they all think that they have, like, they all think that they have an in with her. When she don't give a fuck. She would fucking take you out in a heartbeat if she had the chance.
And there's a lot of debate over what it means. People have been arguing, was he a leaker? Some people have suggested he might be a criminal. He should be indicted. We're not saying that.
This is another weird thing with these people. Why do you care about that? Right? It's like,
because it might expose the truth.
You own a jewelry store.
Duh.
Someone breaks into your jewelry store and steals your merchandise, and you're more concerned about
the merchandise that was stolen instead of who it was.
I want to make a fool of myself. But
they're more concerned about the merchandise that was stolen rather than who was the actual thief and burglar. If I understand that correctly. Let's see. What does Dee Dee think?
Okay. I'm so confused here. Charlie was taken out. Why do you care more about... Oh, that's what it is. It's like if you owned a jewelry store. Someone breaks into your jewelry store, steals your jewelry, and then they report that $1 million worth of jewelry was stolen. But you found out that an additional couple of Rolexes worth $50,000 a piece or $80,000 a piece was stolen. That's an extra $160,000. But you privately tell your friend that. That could only help you because that's more money that you can get in return for what was stolen. You privately tell a friend that, and then that friend links it to the news, and you're upset with your friend. Why would you be upset with something that can help you? You're upset that Joe Kent, you're complaining about who leaked what. Why? That's weird. Why do you care about that? The point is that you're trying to figure out what truly happened to Charlie, right?
No.
Really not.
No. No, they're not.
But this has come up, and
He's getting tossed around with this as if I did something untoward. No, I don't regret any of it. I regret that they were leaked. I was told that I could trust them. I told that it was private and it would be guarded, just to look into any possible
He
leads.
regrets
By
that
the
it
way,
was leaked.
He did that with a bunch of different things because we
Not
want
that
the
he
truth to
didn't
come out.
leak it himself.
No, you don't. Allegedly. No, you don't.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
He regrets that it was leaked, but does not regret that he wasn't the one to leak it himself. He regrets that he shared something with someone he was told he could trust on the inside, but doesn't regret that he didn't actually just tell the truth in the first place. Interesting, huh? It's very interesting. These people tell us, they clear as day tell us and show us who the fuck they are. And yet, a lot of us still just don't want to believe it. They are blatantly telling us who they are, what they care about, why they care about it, and what they're going to do to fucking disprove everything else. And it's just like unbelievable.
Let's get to some of the biggest part of the video. Candace Owens had a back and forth yesterday because FBI Director Kash Patel, his girlfriend, some people have accused her of being a honeypot, of being his handler. She accused Candace Owens and a plethora of other people of being foreign agents. And before we go over to read these tweets, I want to tell you something that I've noticed about the Trump administration. I want you all to tell me if you've noticed this as well. There seems to be this thing with age in the Trump administration. What's her name? Caroline Leavitt?
Yeah.
The spokesperson?
Caroline Leavitt. The girl with the lips that are just like bombs. Trump says he loves her lips. They are just like bombs. Boop, 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 boop.
I believe her husband is like 40 years older than her. It was legal. I'm not. You do what you want to do. But that's just like not very common. I believe she's in her late 20s, early 30s or something like that. Maybe mid 30s.
She's 27, I think.
In his 60s.
And she just is so smitten by President Donald J. Trump. He's just the greatest thing ever. She just loves him so much.
Kash Patel is significantly older than Alexis. Trump was extremely close to Jeffrey Epstein. Enough said there. Dan Bongino and Kash Patel seemingly are PDF file protectors based on what's happened with all of this. Pam Bundy is extremely close to people that are in the Epstein files. Anybody noticing a pattern here? I am.
What are you suggesting, Dee Dee, that they like bought and paid and purchased their wives? Huh? Are you suggesting maybe that these people all worked for Epstein or Trump for that matter, and maybe possibly, allegedly, maybe possibly paid for their wives? I don't know. Maybe. That's what I'm alleging, I think. That's what I think. Literally think Melania is bought and paid for. I think Pam Bondi, honestly, is one of Trump's girls. I think Trump owns her. My opinion is that Trump owns her. Trump owns Caroline Leavitt. Trump owns these fucking women. And they must not. They must comply. They are not to ever speak against this man or in any damaging way, shape, or form or manner. And if so, they will be thrown out, you know? They'll be shot in the head like a dog, like Kristi Noem's dog. Ugh. Fucking bitch. I'm so glad that he fired her, but I don't think he even fired her. I think he just fucking downgraded her job to a different position. I don't think she got fired.
So let's go over here and read these this information that Alexis Wilkins shared about Candace Owens. Pretty big deal. Let's see if it has any credence to it. All right, she says a foreign linked influence network has been running coordinated operations against the Trump administration for 22 months. I know it's real because they ran one against me. I was targeted in something I knew was far from organic. This level of media is isolating, unwanted, and unwarranted. There was nobody to help, nobody to jump in and say, this is a false op and help me. Well, I don't believe in problems without solutions, so I've spent the last few months learning to build programs to utilize publicly available information to prove that this is way bigger than me. This is about creating chaos in the Republican Party. It's about the organized effort to lose Republicans the midterm and subvert President Trump's agenda. And I have the data for you to see.
Let's get this straight, Alexis, you stupid bitch Wilkins. Donald Trump subverted the Republican Party. Okay, Donald Trump subverted the midterm election himself. He literally did it all on his own. He divided his own party by coming out and saying, are we still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? And it's a Democrat hoax. He did it himself, Alexis, stupid bitch Wilkins. He did it himself. Okay? It's not a coordinated operation against the Trump administration for 22 months now. Oh, and so you learned how to build and read. I mean, like, what the build programs to utilize publicly available information to prove that? Dude, then Trump must be a foreign operative because he did it to him fucking self. Stupid bitch. I cannot fucking stand stupid women.
Says, in July 2025, I was falsely labeled a Mossad spy in a coordinated campaign designed to isolate an official of the U.S. government by using the person publicly nearest to him, me.
Oh my God. So let's make it all about you then, Alexis Wilkins. Let's make it all about you. You and Cash fucking stupid bitch ass Patel. Another little beta boy who speaks like a fucking woman. He sounds like a fucking feminized version of a fucking wannabe male.
And others dating back to 2024, 6 chapters, 22 months. The data shows 3.1 million retweet engagements. 80% of all activity was pure amplification. 659 accounts retweeted the same post. Some retweeted 1 second part. When content spreads organically, timing is random. People check their feeds at different moments. They don't retweet the same post within seconds of strangers they've never met. 54 retweets in a single hour at peak. 863,568 total retweet engagement in this chapter alone. That's not a conversation, that's a weapon. So it's clear that...
Okay, so what would your excuse be for all of the Candace is a demon attacks and they're going to lose us the midterm attacks when all of that is all coordinated and comes out the same fucking day? What would you call that then, Alexis? Huh? Is that a coordinated campaign? What is that? I think this is just a majority of the American people agreeing that organically or inorganically, we are agreeing that something is corrupt here in this fucking government. And whether we voted them in or not, we are all coming to the same conclusion. That this is not right. Our FBI is not doing its job. The CIA is not doing its job. And when one person decides to speak up and state what the CIA was or was not able to investigate when it comes to Charlie's death, there's just an attack made on him completely. Like, that's all organic, right? That's all organic. None of these people are in the 7K club, right? None of these people are in the 7K Philly club, right? Alexis, oh my God.
That she's using ChatGPT just because of the language and the structure of these sentences.
Yeah.
And the dashes. It's clear to me that she's using ChatGPT.
Yeah, me too.
Let's continue. She says the network has a trail. Catholic for Catholics lists General Michael Flynn as current senior advisor on their own website. Flynn is the anchor of a digital infrastructure that has been repeatedly activated at every major Republican fracture point. Over 22 months of documented data. The same accounts appear at every chapter. This network does not rebuild between deployment is stage ready. So, yeah, I mean she's repeating data points. I'm not understanding how this is relevant though. She says here, 10 days before the Butler assassination attempt, Ivan Raiklin, former Green Beret, former Defense Intelligence Agency, board member of Flynn's nonprofit America's Future, posed directly to Elon and JD Vance, General Flynn would make Trump assassination proof. 166 retweets, 14 tightly clustered time windows. Within 1 second. Okay. She says, Chapter 2, July 2025, a coordinated narrative falsely identifies the FBI director's girlfriend as a Masan honeypot. The origin post from a supplement influencer with 1.1 million followers built through the COVID medical freedom movement gets a labeled inorganic seeming uncommon 20 million views. This is the network's method, anonymous mass deployment, then credentialed amplification. The connection runs in both directions. Retweet.com posted about me. Okay, blah, 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 blah.
Exactly. Blah, 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 blah. Because none of this matters.
September 2025.
It's not important.
Assassinated.
It's just so she can say, look at me, look at me, look at me. Alexis Wilkins. I'm so great. So fucking great.
Candace Owens publicly attributes the unaliving to Israel, but she didn't do that. I'm all for if she actually said or did something, I would agree with you. But this is a lie. She didn't do this. Candace Owens publicly attributes the unaliving to Israel and targets Kurt by name. Again, she didn't do this. This is... Dude, what? She didn't do this, though. Many of the same accounts active in the July 2025 honeypot chapter activate immediately. A moment of natural Republican unity is converted within hours into one of the most sustained fracture points of the year. Chapter 4, March 2026. Joe Kent resigns as NCTC director. That same day, Catholic for Catholics, a Flynn associated organization, announces Kent at their Washington gala. Within 24 hours, Tucker calls an interview. Within 72 hours, Kent on stage with Flynn and Candace Owens at the Waldorf Astoria. You also forgot here, Alexis, within 36 hours, Joe Kent went on to the Mark Levin show, who is a raging Zionist, Israel first Zionist. He also went on to his show. What about that part? The data across all 6 chapters, 3.1 million retweet engagements. The same accounts that were active before Butler in 2024 are active in the Kent chapter in 2026. So what? I don't know if that correlates though, right? Because typically the same accounts that believe in certain things will typically like similar posts. Here she says, what retweet was telling Americans the entire time throughout March? I don't know what this means. The Flynn network was manufacturing the fracture domestically. I mean, she's kind of all over the place right now.
That's the plan, Dee Dee.
The goal of this operation is not to win a political argument, but to make the fractures feel permanent, to make Republicans believe the movement is over, to make Republicans feel the war isn't worth fighting.
The MAGA movement's over.
Officials look unstable and create media that creates more problematic media. Each chapter hits a different pressure point. The network, the timing, and the Russian amplification are consistent across all 5. That consistency is the signature.
Mossad
Then
gave
she
her
ends it with
fucking
saying,
orders, and
"I'm not
she's
saying
just
anything. I
she's
ran
just
data.
enacting her
I'm asking you to
orders.
draw your own conclusions." Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. This
Smells like an op.
a bunch of gibberish.
Smells like a psyop.
This sounds like a bunch of gibberish to me. Number one, I don't believe that she ran any data.
No, me either.
I believe she went to ChatGPT. I think she put together a lot of numbers, and then she put out this confusing information
Or she,
and tried to create
Mossad just gave her orders.
She also left out critical information, and she also lied.
That's what psyops
Candace
do.
Owens, I believe, spent like the first 2 or 3 months. She wouldn't even touch Erica. And when she would touch Erica, she would either praise Erica or she would be slightly critical of administrative. They were administrative criticisms, not personal ones.
But then it just
Remember,
became too hard to ignore.
I was yelling across. I was like, this is proof that Candace is a Fed or Candace is controlled opposition. It's true that she's in on the whole psyop because she's refusing to talk about Erica. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure I don't ever shut up about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she eventually changed.
Because it was too hard to ignore.
At first, she wouldn't even talk about Erica. So that's not true. Second of all, you said that she said that Israel did it. No, she didn't. Again, I'm about telling the truth. If she did something, then I'll gladly agree with you. But she didn't do it. That's not what she did, bro. Just tell the truth. Second of all, she pointed out, or third of all, she pointed out the fact that Bibi Netanyahu immediately, shortly after that, Ben Shapiro was on the Charlie Kirk show talking about he's going to pick up
Charlie's
Kirk's
bloody mic
and continue his legacy.
Even though that's not what Charlie would have wanted Ben Shapiro to fucking
he didn't do
do.
anything to Charlie Kirk.
Ugh.
That's not weird at all, right?
Even though the $1 million they gave Erica Kirk right after his death had nothing to do with it.
Leaving out the fact that Joe Kent also went onto the Mark Levin show, who is a Zionist. And he's also said that he's open to talking to anybody. Why won't Andrew Kovac, why won't Blake Nelf have Joe Kent onto his show?
Right? Nope. Because it'll make them look
And again,
bad.
I don't know any of these people. I don't 100% trust any of these people.
Me neither.
But that's very apparent. Very, very apparent. Right? Oh, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, I need people to use their brains for more. I need people to use their heads for more than a hat rack.
Yes.
I did not say that Candace Owens has not blamed Israel. It's not what I said. If you were listening and you were reading along with me, then you would know that Alexis Wilkins' partner, girlfriend, alleged girlfriend of FBI Director Cash Patel, just stated in a series of tweets where she claimed to have data to support this, that immediately...
That it's fracturing the Republican Party.
September the 10th, within hours, Candace Owens was blaming Israel and criticizing Erica Kirk. Both of those things are lies. Candace did not start criticizing
All to fracture the Republican Party and lose the midterms.
From the beginning.
Oh my God.
And the proof is right here on my YouTube channel. September the 11th, I was already doing investigations.
And if Candace did say that, she has every right to fucking question it.
Hours after Charlie
That's
Kirk
her
was taken out,
opinion.
she did not blame Israel. What she did do
She said it was awfully strange that Netanyahu felt the need to come out and say that.
Charlie Kirk was having issues with his Jewish donors. That's what she said. She did not blame Israel up front. I'm not talking about what she's been doing over the past 4 months. Yes, she's definitely speculated and alluded to Israel, as I have as well.
She's alluded to Israel. She's alluded to Donald Trump. She's alluded to Erica Kirk. And you know what? Fucking rightfully so. Rightfully fucking so, dude. She's got a huge platform. And she can speak for the majority of us when she asks these questions, because she is. We literally all have the same fucking suspicions and questions. And it's only right to use her platform, as she does, to speak for a lot of people and saying, we want to know what really happened to Charlie. We want to know. And then for everything to just get shut down, dismissed, and oh, Candace is a foreign agent. Candace is a demon. Candace is a demon. Anybody questioning the narrative is a demon. Okay, but then you got Talmud Tatum go out there and talk about Savannah Guthrie like she's in the wrong because something about her crying without tears is just ingenuine and inauthentic to him. Fuck you, Talmud Tatum. But you won't call out Erica Kirk for ingenuine fake tears? Oh my fucking God, dude.
But I've also alluded to other things as well.
Sick. It's
outside
sick.
of just Israel.
Such a double standard.
That's crazy, dude. That's just crazy. Crazy.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to end this video, but I just thought that was some interesting shit that I wanted a lot of people to see how that sits with them. How does that all sit with you guys? Huh? How does that sit with you? Does that scream guilty? Are they just dealing with their grief, their guilt, or their grief? Which one is it? Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in the next important video that I make, because I only make videos of true, authentic, genuine, necessary information. And this is important, and it's necessary to get this out there. So please like and subscribe to my channel, because eventually one day, together, we are going to open an animal shelter, and we are going to rescue hundreds, if not thousands, of animals from the cruelty of the human species. Thank you. Bye. Love you all. God bless you, and God bless America. We need a miracle. We need a miracle. We really do.